Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to chat squats. Why? Because I am extremely excited to see squats, and I want to talk about why I think a lot of people are excited about this army coming back. This is something really interesting for Warhammer 40k, and something I really want to see a lot of. By the time you see this video, I'll have just released a video talking about alien races I'd love to see added for 40k, and it's these non-chaos, non-imperial, non-Eldar things that I think we have a lot of space to explore, and with squats, or I forget the name of what they're now called, we'll get into the article in just a second. I think they've hit on something really cool. And so, yeah, the other day they put up on April Fool's talking about the squat video and go, we're back. And everyone was like, are they, is it? And I put up the video, was it a absolute liar? Are they just trolling? Are they going to bring out like a board game? Was it the absolute biggest double bluff in Games Workshop history? And well, it was. Everyone was so doubtful of the squats coming back, but it is happening. We are going to have an entire new army, and here is the mini. Leagues of Votann. Now, for me, this sounds really interesting because, first of all, it's not called squats. A lot of the issue arising with when squats were discontinued was they were just Imperial Guard, and they were also, at the time, a very joke-style army in a universe that was trying to make itself more serious into the Warhammer 40k we know today. And so they were removed or squatted, and this is where the term comes from. We need to figure out a new term for that, by the way. So on a tangent here, there needs to be a new term for squatted, because squatted no longer means discontinued. Thinking of an army that just gets, because like the old law was, well, they got eaten by Tyrannid high fleets. So that was squatted. So I would say bretted is probably the best one, because Tomb Kings didn't get annihilated. Like Cetra died with his honor intact. He became, and there's the whole thing of like, did Set return to the Chaos Gods at the end? Is he now a Stormcast? All that sort of stuff. I think breaded is the correct term. But that aside, back to talking about the Leagues of Votann. I like that they've not just gone with squats, and they've instead gone with giving them something interesting. Now, what it talks about Leagues of Votann here, I think is really interesting. It talks about how they're sort of like distant cousins, and they're not necessarily on the best of terms with the Imperial Man, but they're not probably maybe as aggressive as some other parts of the galaxy may be against the Imperial Man. They're sort of like very much how like Bretonnia and Empire used to have wars in Warhammer Fantasy, or how we have Space Marine chapters will have wars, even if they're both loyalist. And so they're somewhat like that. They're that ally of convenience at best to the Imperium. And what's really interesting about this is, unlike the Imperium, which lost a lot of its technology and during the Dark Ages and all of that sort of stuff, the Leagues of Votann have instead actually kept a lot of that technology, including some that they say might be a little bit heretical. Now, speaking on this heretical thing, I would almost assume, just looking at like how this model looks compared to the Iron Man we saw in Blackstone Fortress, I'm going to say we're going to see Iron Man in this, which really raises some interesting questions on all of that sort of stuff. I mean, we saw the Leagues of Votann expedition coming down in this video, looking at a Space Hulk. So, is this trying, like, have we got some sort of connection there between the Leagues of Votann, these squats, for lack of a better term, and the Iron Man? This would be really interesting. And so, like, I've seen a lot of people go, oh, why are they interesting? What's so interesting about squats? First of all, like, it was a really old army, so nostalgia certainly has a massive part to play in why people are really excited. But also, let's not forget that Warhammer 40k was effectively originally designed as space fantasy. We have space undead and Necrons, we have space elves, we have space dark elves, and we've got all these sort of fantasy-style races in 40k, in a sci-fi universe, and so dwarves are obviously missing from that. And I think this is just a great addition to see. You're going to get a lot of people really happy. I've seen some people saying, oh, they just look like futuristic KO. I'm like, And my response is, well, yeah, they're space dwarves. KO are fantasy, steampunk, or aetherpunk dwarves. These are futuristic dwarves. Of course they're going to share similarities. But I really do like the look of them. I think this model looks fantastic. I can't wait to see what we get with the rest of these models. I mean, this is apparently just a line infantry model. Can't imagine what we're going to see with like the characters and stuff. I mean, this is a different model down here. Power Fist and Plasma Pistol. I really do like the segmented armor on the chest plate. He's just a really, really cool miniature. I'm really excited to see where we go with Leagues of Votann. And like I was saying at the start of the video, I think this is a really interesting thing. This isn't just a rehashed army. Yes, this is bringing something back. This is bringing something back from like the dark ages of 40k. This is so ancient. This isn't like... I don't think we've seen something as interesting as this in a long, long time for 40k. Normally when we get 40k updates, we get slight little updates to existing sculpts, or, you know, Primaris was a little bit interesting, but it's still just Space Marines. For me, I'm really excited to see where we go with this Leagues of Votann. Are we going to get Iron Man alongside them? There's a lot of potential here to be one of the most interesting releases in 40k for a generation almost. I don't think there's been anything that's interesting since we saw Knights first come out in 40k, because they were awesome. I'd be really, really interesting. Yeah, this is probably as interesting. I have probably not been this interested since Sisters of Battle came out in something new in the Warhammer 40k universe. This is really exciting to me. I'd love to hear what people think of this, what you're excited for, what you want. Do you want them to be allied with Iron Man? Do you want to see more Iron Man in this army and have it sort of like they start to use, you know, AI and all of that artificial intelligence that has its own thoughts and much more sort of autonomous and much more sentient than, say, the tower mechanics of their AI. Be really interesting. Let us know your thoughts down on the Leagues of Votann down in the comments below. I am super, super excited for this, and we will definitely be getting some for the channel. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, drop us a comment down below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel and get your name up on the screen like all these fantastic people do, you can do so by supporting us either on Patreon or YouTube members. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd love to give them a shout out. So a shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Dynet226. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Shelf, Adriana Edwards, and Sean Scott. A special thanks as well to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for our channel, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for our channel's Discord server as well. Thank you all for watching. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.